Game 1 of the NBA Finals is finally here. We're going to preview it. On today's show, I'm going to tell you what the Knicks got to do to win this game. We've got some major injury updates on Mitchell Robinson. As you're locked in to New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports, we are presented by Prize Picks, and my name is Marshall Green. Before we unpack everything you need to know heading into Game 1, I want to hear from all of the real ones in the comments section. Who do you got winning tonight? Who wins Game 1? Is it the Knicks? Is it the Spurs? Comment right now. The New York Knicks head into Game 1 as 4.5-point underdogs. I'm fired up, and I love that this team is not only underdogs in Game 1, they'll be underdogs in Game 2. If they lose any of those games, they might even be underdogs in Game 3 or Game 4, but they're underdogs in this series. And I believe players like Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, and all of them play a little bit better with a chip on their shoulder. I mean, all these guys, Deuce McBride, Landry, Shamet, Mitchell Robinson, all are a little bit better when they are a little bit more motivated. Let's start with Mitchell Robinson. On Tuesday, the New York Knicks practice was open to the media in San Antonio, and Mitchell Robinson was spotted with what I would describe as a semi-light wrap on his hand. I'm not even going to call that a brace. He was seen dribbling the basketball. He didn't participate in full, but he was catching passes. He did like a light two-handed dunk as well, and he was giving some pretty firm handshakes to some people on the side as well. And I think if you have a broken hand, you're probably going to be a little bit cognizant about shaking somebody's hand. Shams Charania did say, though, on ESPN that Robinson still needs to be cleared by the New York Knicks as he is officially questionable heading into Game 1, and he is expected to wear a much heavier brace than the picture that we just showed. Shout out to Chris Persiano, who does a beautiful job covering this basketball team. Says Mitchell Robinson grabbing one-handed rebounds in practice with the hand he had surgically repaired last week is a good sign for the Knicks. It's not written in stone as a blessing, but it doesn't have to be much deeper than what I wrote above. Just a good sign right now. And yes, Mitchell Robinson is listed as questionable, and I think at some point today, probably a couple hours before the game, we'll probably find out if he is going to play. Like, when I talk about this series, I can almost talk myself into saying everybody is an X factor. Like Josh Hart's going to be an X factor. Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be an X factor. Like everybody. But like Mitchell Robinson is truly a player that could shift the series in the favor of the New York Knicks. What he brings is what this team is going to need to beat the Spurs. I think you're going to need to be dominant on the offensive glass. And more importantly, he is a almost perfect type of player that you want guarding Victor Wembanyama, who is the face of the franchise for the Spurs and the best player that they have. And if the New York Knicks want to have a chance to win this series, they can't let Wemby in the first chapter of his story write that he was unstoppable against the New York Knicks. Like, if he's healthy, you should have two really good options to guard Victor Wembanyama. I think OG Anunoby was like almost built in a lab to be able to guard Wemby. Obviously not the perfect height, but when you talk about strength, length, IQ, and just defensive talent, I don't think there's anybody in the league that's built better than Anunoby, and then Mitchell Robinson as well. 7'1", good feet, strong, has length as well. Like, if Mitch is healthy, he's going to give the Knicks a really big boost, and I hope he is, man. It would be a real shame if he got hurt on his own time at his house right before the Knicks got to the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. I want to roll through some stats on today's show. Teams coming off a sweep against teams coming off a 7-game series are 20-4 in NBA history. The Knicks are coming off back-to-back sweeps, whereas the Spurs are coming off a gruesome 7-game series. Also, what about this? Shout out to First Things First. Teams that swept the conference finals versus opponents coming off a 7-game series in the conference finals. It's happened 7 times. 5 times those teams won the NBA Finals, and just 2 times they lost. The 13 Spurs versus the Miami Heat, and the 98 Jazz versus the Chicago Bulls. So those 2 stats indicate the New York Knicks should have a pretty good shot to win this series. You, in my opinion, are more experienced. You are more rested. Your coach has been to the NBA Finals before. I got the Knicks in 6, and I am feeling pretty frisky to say maybe even Knicks in 5. A lot more to unpack on today's show. I do got to give you the inside scoop, though, on our presenting sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use that promo code HMA. Play your first $5 lineup, and you're going to get $50 in lineups instantly. Pick more, pick less, play Prize Picks. It's America's #1 sports pick app out there. All you do is select more or less on 2 to 6 player stat line. Prize Picks sets a stat line for every player, and all you got to do is pick more or less. Shout out to Prize Picks. What I love about them is they're always hooking up everybody to make sure that they have a legit chance to win. They're essentially giving you a max discount for Jalen Brunson in Game 1. They have lowered his point total from 26.5 all the way down to 0.5. So include that in your lineup. Play a $5 lineup. Use the promo code HMA. And then you'll have $50 in lineups to use for the rest of the NBA Finals. You can also follow me on Prize Picks at @MarshallGreen_. I'll be putting a lineup in for every single game. I usually do it during our watch parties, probably 15 to 20 minutes before the game tips off. So keep checking in. And shout out to Prize Picks. Use that promo code HMA. I wanted to read this stat that I saw on the Action Network. Since 2002, teams playing in the second round or later with 9 or more days of rest against opponents on 4 days or fewer are 10-3 straight up and 10-3 against the spread. This situation has been even more impressive historically, dating back to the NBA and ABA merger. Those teams are 24-13 straight up and 26-11 against the spread. The Knicks have the rest advantage here. I was talking to my guy Patrick Seatman. The New York Knicks have played 4 games, and they had a 9-game rest between the conference finals. That series lasted a week, and they've played 4 games in 25-ish days. They should be rested. Maybe some rust. We'll talk about that momentarily. But you gotta come out hot in this series. The Spurs just had a really, really tough 7-game series. Another one here from the Action Network. Since 1990, teams entering Game 1 of the Finals with the rest profile that the Knicks have gone 4-1. Go win Game 1. You steal Game 1, you win Game 1, and you're going to put some pressure on the San Antonio Spurs, who are an extremely young team with little to no finals experience outside of Harrison Barnes. Look at this graphic. This touches on the point that we just made. These are the 5 matchups where there was a 5+ day rest advantage. You go back to 2023, where the Nuggets ended up winning Game 1, and they covered. You look at the Spurs versus the Heat. The only one that didn't happen was the Lakers versus the 76ers back in 2001. The Action Network also wrote, since the merger, 8 teams have entered Game 1 of the NBA Finals with this specific advantage. 5 ultimately won the title. The 2023 Nuggets, 2001 Lakers, the 96 Bulls, the 82 Lakers, and the 78 Bullets. The three exceptions, the 2013 Spurs, 98 Jazz, and the 1989 Lakers. Go win Game 1. The odds, the numbers, the history, the data, they say that you should be the team that goes and wins Game 1. I'll just say this. I think you're the better team, and that alone should be enough to go ahead and go and win Game 1. 5 rapid-fire keys to victory is shake the rust off quick. We saw in Game 1 versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Knicks weren't really able to shake the rust off until the end of that third quarter and really until about the 9-minute mark of that fourth quarter. Ultimately, they did, and then Jalen Brunson went on one of the best heaters that you will ever see, but shake the rust off quick. There might be a world where you're down a couple of points at the end of quarter number 1. Bounce back in quarter number 2, come ready to play, and then apply the gas, and I think you'll be A-okay. Get Mikal going early. We've seen a key to this offense is early on, Mikal Bridges getting buckets, whether that is him working off a pin down or a backdoor cut or even getting involved in some pick and roll as a ball handler. We've seen that being integrated into the offense a little bit more because he's going to get out and run in transition. He's going to fill the lane. If he can see a mid-range jumper fall early, that's going to go a long way. Didn't shoot the ball all that well in Game 4 against the Cavs. Still played well, but if you can get him going early, I think that truly opens up everything for your offense. Kind of like a little thing that I truly believe in if Deuce McBride and Landry Shamet can combine to make 5 or more threes in game one, and I don't think that that's a lofty number to expect. Like, can Deuce make 3? Can Shamet make 2, or vice versa? If those two guys can combine to give you 5+ threes in this game, which I think is very, very doable, I think you're going to be in a good spot. You're going to need OG Anunoby to be a scorer this series as well. Can we go to the roster court real quick, AC, if we got that in there? I just want to visualize the Spurs starting lineup and talk about some potential matchups as well. They're going to start De'Aaron Fox. They're going to start Julian Champagnie. They're going to start Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, and Devin Vassell. Who's going to guard OG Anunoby? Are they going to hide Julian Champagnie on OG Anunoby? Are they going to hide De'Aaron Fox on OG? Like, Vassell's probably going to guard Brunson, or Vassell is going to guard Towns. I would assume Victor Wembanyama is going to guard Josh Hart. And honestly, Vassell and Castle, those guys are going to guard Brunson and Towns. That leaves De'Aaron Fox and Julian Champagnie. And I am sorry, OG Anunoby cannot be guarded by De'Aaron Fox. OG Anunoby cannot be guarded by Julian Champagnie. He's too big, he's too strong, and he's way too talented. I also need OG to be good on the boards and on the glass in this series as well. We saw that pay off in a major way against Philadelphia 76ers prior to his injury in that series as well. In the series against the Atlanta Hawks, OG needs to score, and he needs to make the Spurs pay for thinking they can hide De'Aaron Fox and Julian Champagnie on him, whether it's those backdoor cuts, whether it's those powerful drives that he likes to get going around the rim. And when he's around the rim, he's got the much bigger size and strength advantage. Just go dunk the ball. Hopefully he's 100% healthy. The Knicks need it. And then Cat's got to avoid foul trouble as well. With Mitchell Robinson's status listed as questionable right now, and even if he does play, he's not going to be 100%. He just had hand surgery about a week ago. Cat has to be on the floor. He cannot get into silly foul trouble. He can't get duped by Wemby. He can't get duped by De'Aaron Fox. Cat is going to be critical in this series. And like we talked about OG, if they're going to put Castle and they're going to put Vassell on Karl-Anthony Towns, you got to punish them in the paint, man. That's got to be an auto bucket if you catch the ball against those two guys from the foul line down. We talked about them being too small to guard OG. They are way too small to be guarding Karl-Anthony Towns. He is going to be huge. And this is the moment for Karl-Anthony Towns to tell all the haters, all the BS narratives, all the nonsense to go F yourself. Karl-Anthony Towns gets an NBA championship. That ring lasts forever, and no one's going to ever be able to say anything negative about Karl-Anthony Towns because he'll be a champion. If you want the Knicks to go ahead and win game one, hit that thumbs up icon. Get the good vibes rolling. Do not jinx it. Talking to you. Click the thumbs up icon right now and join us for our game one watch party. We might be going live 90 minutes before tip-off. It's a celebration. It's a historic day. I'll never forget it. And I got the Knicks stealing game one. See you tonight. Let's go.